Are you after a sturdy wallet that can take a hyper beam, look cute like a Gardevoir, and be slim like a Sudowoodo? Well, I got you covered. Introducing the Ridge Wallet. A slim, sexy way to carry around your cards and cash. I've used the Ridge Wallet for over 69 years now. The Ridge Wallet comes in a variety of styles to suit your everyday needs. These are some of the wallet styles I like the best, like the carbon fiber, the titanium, the gold. Really nice, cool designs to make you stand out. They also have some neat products to complement your wallet, like a bottle opener, pens, backpacks, charging, knives, you name it. You can get 10% off your purchase today with free worldwide shipping and returns by going to ridge.com/PIMPNITE. Yes, that's right, ridge.com/PIMPNITE, and use code PIMPNITE, link in the description of the video. Cheers, Ridge, for the channel sponsor. What's up, YouTube? For today's video, we got the gift that keeps on giving. The Hacker Exposed series makes another return. This time it's going to be on Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and it's going to be all about Deoxys. So I'm going to do a quick little explanation on Deoxys as to why it can't be in this game. In general, we haven't even had Deoxys at all in Generation 8, which is crazy. And as well, all the forms appearing there too. Now, in BDSP in Veilstone, the meteorites are still here, so you can still change the forms around. But you actually needed Deoxys in the first place to be able to do that. You can't do that. So obviously, to get Deoxys onto the game at the moment, you'd need Pokemon Home and Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl transfer. But there's none at the moment. It only is 2022. We still have not had a release on this, which is crazy, you know what I'm saying? You can get events like Darkrai, Shaman, and Arceus, but there's none for Deoxys and stuff like that. I did do a battle the other day. I did come across a Shiny Celebi too, and this falls in the same category as Deoxys, so I'm not sure why these Pokemon are appearing online, especially Deoxys, because that hasn't even been in the game. And also, I did notice with some of the Pokemon, they actually had some moves in my previous one that they actually couldn't get in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. They needed stuff like Sword and Shield or transfer moves from other generations and stuff like that. So I really don't know what's going on here. Now, one other thing I noticed in the battle too, when you do catch a Deoxys on Pokemon Go, it comes in like a Premier Ball. And I noticed the Deoxys actually all came in Premier Ball. So Pokemon Go can't connect to these games either, so if you were thinking that. But yeah, that's pretty much a quick little summary as to why Deoxys or any of its forms can't be in the game, and let alone Shiny Deoxys as well. So without further ado, people, let's get into the battle showing off the Deoxys. Alright, people, we got a battle here. This is online. This one was against Elon Musk. He must have had some sort of hacked Pokemon shares or something investing in there, and we got a Speed Deoxys as the lead. Now, my first Pokemon's going to be Beamling, and this is actually a throwback to a Breloom someone used against me many years ago. The reason it's called Beamloom is because it's got Solar Beam and Hyper Beam. I thought it was a really good name, and I sort of made a set pretty similar to it. So we've got both those attacking moves, Substitute and Spore. I'll tell you what my EV spread as well. So I got Timid Nature, and I've got Max Special Attack, and I've got the ability Poison Heal and Toxic Orb as the item. So I'm going to be going for a Substitute here because I need to get that Spore, and Solar Beam's 2 turns, so I have to have some sort of protection up. So the Deoxys went for a Reflect here, so obviously thinking I'm going to be running a physical set, which is quite nice because they're running a terrible special set, which usually doesn't do a lot of damage. So going for Spore this time. Now Deoxys is going to go for a Nightshade. Now Nightshade's going to do a fixed amount of damage here too. Now in this battle, I'm pretty sure some of these Deoxys had like transfer moves too. Not only could you like actually not even get Deoxys, but you couldn't get some of the moves here. So Deoxys is going to close his little space peepers, and I'm going to get some Poison Heal back here, which is going to be very handy to recover off my health and allow me to get maybe a couple more substitutes if I could. So now I'm going to go for Solar Beam. Solar Beam is a 2-turn move, as you know, and Deoxys is going to be sleeping here. I think Deoxys is going to be able to outspeed every single Pokemon on my team, so I have to try and take this one out. So going for Solar Beam, I could have run a Power Herb on this, but I want to run Hyper Beam and Solar Beam. I was sort of keeping it up with the moveset I come across all those years ago. So Deoxys is going to remain asleep, and I can get a Solar Beam off here. Now, I don't think this is going to do a lot of damage. Like, well, it might be a 3 to 4 hit KO, and yeah, it's a 3 to 4 hit KO. So Breloom's going to get all of its health back there to the Toxics, which is going to be very good. Now I can go for another Solar Beam here, and hopefully Deoxys won't wake up, but it did wake up, and now it's going to go for a Nightshade. So it's only got an attacking move as Nightshade. Usually Deoxys speed, for when I've used it and come across it, it's more of a support Pokemon. at the start there. Actually, in fact, I'd say it's probably the worst Deoxys form out of all of them, in my opinion, It's quite good as a lead, and, it's not super offensive, so it's quite good at setting up, like, spikes and screens and that sort of thing. So I'm going to be going for a Solar Beam here again on the Deoxys, and as I said, I'm going to need another 1 or 2 probably to take it out. At this point, I was actually considering going for a Hyper Beam here. I was like, man, maybe I should just roll the dice, or maybe I should just go for Spore again and go for Solar Beam. I'm about to live this next attack, which would be cool. So Deoxys now is going to go for another Nightshade here. I haven't seen its other move, but obviously it can't do anything to me. So Spore is going to be landing, which is good, and Deoxys is going to be sleeping. So hopefully I can get the Deoxys to sleep for 3 turns, because if it is going to be asleep for 3 turns, I'll be able to take it out. And hopefully I'll be able to get a little bit more, maybe 2 more turns, I'll be able to get above 50 health too. So now I'm going to go for Solar Beam here. The Deoxys is going to be still sleeping, which is good. I hate it when you get those first turn wake-ups, right? So absorbing that light under my big old mushroom there, man, Power Herb would have been so handy. And getting some more recovery. So I'm almost back to 50 health. So the effect's going to wear off, which is good. I do have a couple of physical attackers on my team, so they might be handy. And Deoxys is going to go for a skill swap instead of Nightshade. I guess they thought that I would have had more than, 50 health or whatever like that. So the bad thing about this, right, is I'm going to lose Poison Heal, and I'm going to get pressure. So that means I'm not going to get healed up by the Poison Heal. I've got pressure, right? So Solar Beam actually tags out the Deoxys there, but watch this. This is something really interesting. Since I lost that ability, it's going to actually accumulate all the turns the poison has been in the field and take out my Breloom. Wow, it's not something you get to see very often, so that was actually a pretty good play there. Next Pokemon's going to be Spaghetti, and it actually does kind of look like spaghetti. Has anyone, okay, let's be real here. Has anyone eaten yellow and green spaghetti in their life? I'm going to go into Cactuan. I actually thought this is a great Pokemon for this team because I've got Sucker Punch. I actually thought I could sweep them with this, or, maybe late game sweep. So I've got Spiky Shield, I've got Sucker Punch, which will be excellent, Drain Punch, and Giga Drain. So it's actually a mixed set. I've got Max Health, and I've got Max Special Attack. So going for Sucker Punch is going to fail, and Deoxys now is going to throw up the Subject. I'm like, man, that really sucks. I could have gone for Giga Drain, but it wouldn't have taken it out, so it was worth a try, right? So at this stage, I'm like, well, I could go for another Sucker Punch here. Like, I got to get rid of that Subject. They have to attack me eventually, so I thought, well, maybe I'll go for Giga Drain and break this up. I decided against it at the end and went for the Sucker Punch, and now I can see the Deoxys has got Focus Punch. I'm like, man, that's going to hit really hard. So breaking the Substitute, obviously, with the Sucker Punch, then that's why they hid behind the Sub, because they needed the Focus Punch and the Substitute combination to work. So my Cactuan's got a Chopple Berry here. I'm going to get punched by a yellow Deoxys, and I lived it, and I actually lived it pretty well. I'm guessing that is definitely max attack. They did, it's got a lot of stats, Deoxys, right? You can run a max attack, max special attack. It's got great speed, like a very crazy powerful Pokemon. So I thought about going for Sucker Punch again. Let's just go for it, They may attack me this turn, and they're going to go for Sub again. It's like, okay, what I can do here, I control them a little bit, because I did suspect them to go for the Substitute again, and what I've got here is I've got Spiky Shield, and I'm actually running a little bit low on Sucker Punches due to pressure as well. The pressure was starting to get to me, so I went for the Spiky Shield here. Now, Spiky Shield is going to be able to block that Focus Punch, so I was like, well, I wonder what move they'll be able to use to me. Now, I have to say they've got a Psychic move of some description, you know what I mean? And, I was kind of curious what the other one's going to be. So getting some Spiky Shield damage. And now I thought, well, I can go for a Sucker Punch here, I say they'll definitely attack. If they don't, we'll get a swap. But I doubt they'll swap with a Substitute. They must have another attack. Sucker Punch is going to fail. And the Deoxys actually went for a Teleport. They're running away from the battle. So Substitute and Teleport, interesting. And so they're swapping out there. The Substitute's going out as well. Obviously, it doesn't get transferred like Baton Pass. And out comes the Deoxys attack form. That was the normal Deoxys before. So I know this thing's definitely going to have some crazy attacking move, probably like extreme speed. And at least no psychic moves will affect me. So I'm like, well, I've got no Sucker Punches left. It doesn't really matter what I do here. I was actually going to go for Spiky Shield, but I actually misclicked there and went for Drain Punch. And then I went first. I'm like, what the heck? I went first? There's no way I outsped that. So I got some recovery back. Around half health was pretty good. And Deoxys goes for counter. I'm like, wow. Who would have expected it to go for counter? So That was definitely didn't expect that one. So that was a good play. So I'm going to go into my Electro now, which is Spark and Boom here. I've got a Jolly Nature Electrate, Explosion, Spark, Kick, Impact, and Protect. Now, I am running a Jolly Nature Electrode. Now, Electrode's very, very fast, so this should be a speed tie if they've got, if they got something like Choice Scarf or not, but I don't think they will with Counter. So I've gone for Protection here. Sometimes you've got to use Protection, maybe once or twice, and I can go for any move will take it out. Obviously, I'm not going to go for Explosion because that would be a waste. I could go for Sparking and try and spark up a relationship. So go for Spark, but I get outsped, and it's got Psycho Boost. Wow, I've actually never seen... I don't think Psycho Boost is even in the game. I think that got removed from the... Matter of fact, that had Psycho Boost as well. So I guess Deoxys does get Psycho Boost, but that move is actually removed from the game, which is really, really interesting. Maybe they've allowed everything for Pokemon Home Transfer already and just haven't released it yet. Like that's probably, and of course the hack check always sucks as well. We've got to take that into account. So next Pokemon's going to be Bavaro here. We got the Deoxys swapping out, which is interesting, and we've got the Spaghetti coming in, which is the normal Deoxys. Now this is a simple Bibaro. I've got a Amnesia, Aqua Jet, Quick Attack, Curse Set. I've got the ability Simple, so what happens right when I use a move like Curse, everything is going to get doubled. So I'm going to get a +2 in attack, a +2 in defense, and a -2 in defense. So the speed doesn't matter because I've got full priority moves. Now with Amnesia, if I use that, I'll get a +4 in special defense. But at this stage, I was like, well, I haven't really seen all the moves this has. I'm sure it's got another Psychic move. And I went for Focus Punch. Like, okay, this is the Focus Punching one. So I went for Aqua Jet anyway, and that's going to be more than enough to take it out. Though, even if they lived that, the Deoxys would have lost their focus. So bye-bye Deoxys. At least I only had 4 of these to deal with. Like, these are really scary Pokemon. So at this stage, I'm pretty confident right now. I'm like, well, I can pretty much just sweep through the rest of this team with priority moves. Because these Pokemon are very, very fast. But especially like the attacking forms, they're extremely frail, So we've got Quick Attack and Aqua Jet to pick from here. I did actually contemplate going for Amnesia because that +4 on special defense would have been great. But I'd definitely go second. If it did have some sort of like really, really hard-hitting special move, I would have got wrecked. So that's the end of the Deoxys. The last Pokemon is going to be Deoxys Defense. And this obviously is the bulky Deoxys. This is my favorite Deoxys. And they called it a very, very rude name. They called it, let me see it on the screen here, I got a big D. Well, sometimes you got to admit the truth. Now, on this set, right, I've got Bibaro of Life Orb. So it's going to be doing a fair bit of damage here. I thought, well, Deoxys D, it's got a lot of defense, right? So I'm going to get a couple of curses up here and try and finish it off. So Deoxys is going to go for a wrap. Sometimes you got to wrap before you tap. And now I'm trapped into this matchup. Not that I was really swapping out anyway. So I've got 2 curses up, which is going to be very good. So that gives me +4 in attack. So that's going to be very, very powerful. And I've got priority as well with Quick Attack. So that wrap's doing a little bit of damage to me. There's no way I won't be able to take Deoxys out now. I can easily get around this. Like, I might actually go for another curse here. So I went for the curse here to try and get... I was thinking, well, we may have a special move, or should I go for curse again? I could go for a Quick Attack, but I just think that you'd one-shot it. So I went for a curse again, so that way it'd be a +6. Deoxys is going to have a Psycho Shift as a move. And what it's done right is actually given me the burn. So it's had a Flame Orb and passed the Flame Orb on, or the status of the Flame Orb, which is a burn, onto my Bibaro. And that has actually shut me down like that. But that means I won't be able to one-shot it. So that was really interesting they had that. So it's got wrap and it's also doing damage to me with the burn. So that was actually a pretty good Deoxys set. Like, you wouldn't be able to use... Maybe they did it so probably not to stop physical attackers, maybe to stop getting poisoned. So it's not like he used Toxic against this. But anyway, he hasn't used any like status moves apart from like Psycho Shift and Wrap. And so I went for Aqua Jet to see how much damage it would do. And it still did really good damage. Like, okay, that's great. I can probably, soften this thing up a bit. And now it's going to go for a Cosmic Power. I'm like, oh no. So it's got Cosmic Power, Wrap, and Psycho Shift. It's not a bad set, actually. So Deoxys D is also taking damage from the Flame Orb. I guess that's the only bad thing about it. And I've probably got like one more good turn left in me here after all the wraps. Or the Ekans keeps wrapping itself around me. Plus I've got Life Orb too. That's also doing damage. So I do have a Pokemon up my sleeve. I do. A couple up my sleeve, but I wasn't really sure about definitely one of them. So going for the Aqua Jet here, and it's going to be obviously doing damage to me, and I'm going to take burn and wrap damage, and now it's going to have recover. I knew that it would have recover, so, Deoxys D is very, very good at being bulky, and it's got recover and stuff like that. So that's going to be the end of my Bibara. I was like, man, they had like the perfect counter to stop my Bibara right there. So once again, that was a pretty good moveset, that one. So that's the end of Bibara. I've got 2 more Pokemon left. Now, one of them is actually a Pokemon I got in a trade, and I didn't really want to use that because it was a meme set. But I mean, they're all meme sets, but this is Monkey, and this is a special Primate only on PIMPNITE channel, right? So I got Focus Mist, Overheat, Thunder, and I got Final Gambit. This is max speed, max special attacks. So I thought, well, Final Gambit should do the trick here. You know what I mean? I just got to be able to outspeed it. Deoxys D is gone for the recover, and I thought it would go for a Cosmic Power again, or a Wrap, but it healed itself. I went for a Final Gambit, and now Final Gambit is based on the amount of health that I've got, and it just lived. It was so close. I was like, man, that really sucks. So Primate has fainted, and it's going to take the burn damage, but I got a big D is going to be able to lift that one, and it can easily heal off. So the last Pokemon is going to be Ziggy Piggy. I got this one from someone else. I don't know who it was, but whoever traded me a Spoink called Ziggy Piggy, with Hardy Nature, it's all you. So we got a Torment, Rest, and Recycle set. It had these moves already, or like most of them, so I tried to make it into a Troll set, and, you know, it isn't really good. So Recover's going to be Deoxys' obvious move it's going to go for. So let me explain what this Spoink set is, or what I tried to do with it. So I've got Taunt in it, which is really good. So it's not going to be able to use Recover now, which is great. Now, the cool thing about it, it's got the combination of Taunt and Torment. Torment stops you from using the same move twice in a row, so I'll be able to stop the Deoxys going for its attacking move, and it's only got one, which is, remember, it's Wrap, so once it obviously can't go for a Wrap, it'll be forced to struggle, but it won't be forced to struggle every single turn. It'll do it like a couple of turns in a row. I was wondering if that'll be actually enough to be able to take it out here. Now, the other moves I've got on my little Spoink here is Rest and Recycle, and I've got the Chesapeake. A fun fact about Spoink too, it has to keep bouncing its entire life, because it's like its heartbeat or something like that, but if it stops bouncing, it dies. Like, that's it. I think that's like its Pokedex entry or something like that. It's really quite sad. So anyway, Deoxys is going to go for a struggle, and that's almost going to be fainted. Unfortunately, it's going to be very close whether I'm going to be able to take this out or not. So I'm going to be sleeping on Spoink here just in case they got a crit or something like that. Not that Deoxys D's, you know, attack stat is anything to write home about, but I just wanted to make sure. So Chesterberry is going to kick in here, and I've got the Recycle. So what I can do with Recycle is recycle the berry, and I can get that berry back over and over again. It actually came with Recycle and a couple other, like, I think it came with like Torment or something like that. No, it's sort of just built on this set. So once again, the little Ziggy Piggy's going to go. What is Ziggy Piggy anyway? Like, is that like, does that mean something, or is this like a funny name? I don't know. I have to research it afterwards. Hope it's nothing rude. So anyway, if it is, I didn't know what it meant. I probably should have actually like looked at that before. But anyway, it's a bouncing little pig. Maybe that's what it meant. Like I don't know. Like, I'm not even sure. So anyway, Deoxys is going to go for a recover there. Obviously, it's going to get a recover off, and unfortunately, the Taunt actually run out. So Taunt only lasts 3 turns, and it actually needs 4 turns to be able to take the Deoxys out, because Torment is really cool, because with Torment, it doesn't run out. It's in effect for the whole time, whereas the Taunt is only 3 turns. So I was like, I guess, obviously that's the flaw with the set, but I thought it was still a pretty good, funny set to run, considering what it already came with there. Anyway, so I'm taking constant Wrap damage, but really, what I'm worried about here is the fact that Deoxys versus Spoink with the 20-minute timer. In these games, they still got the 20-minute timer, and whoever has, say it's one Pokemon down, so Spoink versus Deoxys D, right? Whoever has the most health remaining at the end is going to be the winner. I'm thinking, well, I really have to keep Spoink in good health here at the same time, so I got to keep resting and recycling the berry over, and at the same time, I got to keep taunting the Deoxys, trying to keep it in a low amount of health if I can't take it out. I really wasn't sure at this point if I could. Like, it just managed to get like a recover off just before I could take it out. Like, every single time, it was quite frustrating. So I kept going for some recycles there. You know, you got to recycle on the planet sometimes, people. And Deoxys are going to got a little bit of health there. It's a real shame I didn't run any health EVs on my Primate, because if I did, I would have one-shotted Deoxys, but I didn't really think I'd be using, like, you know, Final Gambit on like a Primate or something like that. So anyway, we got the recover again on the Deoxys. We've only got like a minute left on this battle, and I just kept going for rest here. I had to keep my Ziggy Piggy in good health right there. So I've got my full health, and now the Chesto Berry is going to kick in here, which is fine. So we're down. I think we got down here to like the last. This was around like the last minute of the battle. It did go the whole time, and the problem was the wrap animation too is really long, and then the recover and the burn, it took ages. So Deoxys is going to go for its final wrap before it taps, and it's got 60 seconds left in this battle. It's like, okay, well, this is going to be interesting to see it's going to actually, come out on top here. So I went for the taunt. I got the taunt off, and that was pretty good there because now Deoxys can't use recover for 3 whole turns, and we've only got 40 seconds left of this battle, which is very, very good. And, there's a lot of animations and stuff right here. So now Deoxys is going to go for a struggle. I tried to pick my moves like soon as possible. They took quite a bit there. And now it's pretty much it. It's over. I know that I've got my health. I'm going to go for the rest here, and I'm going to be at full health because this is I think this is a max health. Yeah, I put max health EVs into this little spoink here. So 14 seconds left in this battle, and we're down to the final 10 seconds. And I think they shook the taunt off right there, or very, very close. Yeah, we had like the final 5 seconds. But then, people, like the little spoink was bouncing up and down for 0 seconds, and then something happened like this.